guys, it's Reagan, and sorry about my sort of absence over the little while of times. It was midterms week this past week, and it has been the best way to describe it as a doozy. But today I kind of have an exciting video, at least I think it's exciting because I've been working on it for a little bit, and it is going to be like a fall reading guide. I have been seeing a lot of like Halloween book recommendation videos, but I was like, I didn't really want to like limit you to 1 month because fall is longer than Halloween, though trust me, I love Halloween. And for me personally, I love fall in general, and when I have a very big shift in my reading taste during fall, and it's not necessarily scary books. For me, it's books heavy with like dark, deep atmosphere. But anyway, so I have accumulated quite a few books to show you guys that I think are perfect to read during the fall time. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and yeah. The first book I'm going to show you guys I think is the most applicable like Halloween kind of read, and it's a book I read last October, and it is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is a historical fiction paranormal novel centered around the occult and New York in the 1920s. I don't know if I already mentioned that. I really enjoyed this book. This is a really great young adult book. It has a lot of different perspectives and characters which have really unique voices and personalities, which I really liked. But overall, this book has probably some of the greatest writing I've seen in young adult. I love Libba Bray's writing, and like I said, she crafts an awesome just spirit of the time in this city. It's so great. And the villain in this book is actually terrifying. There's this guy named Naughty John who is so scary. He's a serial killer, and you read from his perspective, and I loved it, but was terrified at the same time. This book is really fantastic. So next, I think, is a book that is literally like all atmosphere all the time, and it's really like an experience in itself, and that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. The best way I would describe this book is like a modern day fairy tale folklore myth, alright? It's very short, and not really a lot happens, but at the same time a lot happens, but the writing is crafted so like wonderfully that you're just kind of like on this journey that Neil Gaiman's like taking you on. To describe what this book is about, it's about a man who kind of revisits his childhood home, and then he kind of is recalling some stuff that happened in his childhood regarding the ocean at the end of the lane that he lived on. It's really fantastic and a very quick read. I think it's a perfect book to read like on a stormy fall Sunday afternoon in front of the fire. The next book I have is very dark in tone, and it is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This is like a psychological thriller mystery book. I can't say too much about it because it's like a mystery book, and I really don't want to ruin the mystery for you, but this book is just so interesting and has such complex, interesting characters that aren't perfect, which I just really enjoy in books, and it really messes with your head. So this, I think, is very dark, and it fits with the dark atmosphere of fall. I read it last month, loved it. Really great book. Plus the movie has just come out, so I honestly just like, I highly recommend this one, okay? The next recommendation I have is more like an author, but I'm only going to really highlight one of his books, but it is Marcus Sedgwick, and I own and have read all 3 of his books that I own. I have The Revolver by him, Midwinter Blood, and The Foreshadowing. In general, just to give you a descriptor of why I love Marcus Sedgwick and why I think he's a perfect fall read, is that his writing is so different. The best way I describe his storytelling style is like I feel like I'm at a campfire and like someone is telling me this really obscure story that they've heard from someone who heard from someone, and it's just kind of that sort of detached but eerie storytelling to it, and it's so weird but so fantastic. The book in particular I'm going to recommend is Midwinter Blood by him. This book was the first one I've read and still my favorite of his. It's so fantastic. It centers around this island, and it follows this island. The book is split into 7 parts, and each part is taking place or is somehow related to this island, but they're taking place in distinct time periods, like very distinct time periods. It starts from like the near future and it goes way into the past. And each part in the end, everything ties together and it's just so interesting. Like the whole concept of this book is just so interesting, and just read it. It's so cool and good. So yes. The next book I have to recommend for you guys is In the Shadows of Blackbirds. This book, atmosphere just out the wazoo. This is a young adult historical fiction paranormal novel. It's set in World War I in California during the Great Influenza Crisis. So not only is World War I happening and like death is just rampant in wartime, everyone in the States is also fearful for their lives because of the flu, and everyone's wearing like masks and stuff like that. Our main character, his father gets arrested for something, so she's sent to live with her aunt. So when she moves to live with her aunt, she gets involved, really not really wanting to, with like spirit photographs and like spiritualism. That's a really popular thing in this time period of history, and it's just so interesting. Like this book, historical details and the use of historical settings to create such great rich atmosphere is just fantastic. Additionally, this book utilizes real photographs and it's awesome. And the sequel just recently came out and I really want to pick it up, but I thoroughly enjoyed this, so I recommend it very much. The last book I have to show you guys is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. This book is just freaking amazing. Yeah. This follows the last execution in Iceland, and it just follows a multitude of different perspectives centering in and around this execution. And it's the story itself is really simple in design. I mean, it's just following this woman's last days before she's killed. But it's so rich in characters and like in setting. Like literally I can't even explain it to you. When I was reading this book, I felt like I was in Iceland in one of those huts that they're living in, like herding sheep. Like I honestly felt like I was there and I could understand everyone's experiences and emotions. Like this book honestly transported me. It is so richly designed, beautifully crafted. The writing is just, it's just so good. So those are all of my fall read recommendations for my fall reading guide. Heavy in atmosphere, dark in tone, but wonderfully written. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed and I will see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!